Hey, good people. Welcome back to Driven in Purpose. I am your host, Alice M. Robinson.
And your co-host, Tyrus D. Parnell Sr.
So, you guys, I'm glad you could come back for Driven in Purpose. So, you guys know, those that are viewing this for the first time, this podcast is about meeting individuals that are kingdom minded, that are driven in purpose, and those that are still trying to find their drive. So, you guys, we are almost done with season one. Can you believe it? We got 3 more episodes, and
Wow.
we will be entering into season 2.
Oh, wow.
So, season 1, we were learning our way, finding the do's and the don'ts, and really finding how God wanted to structure Driven in Purpose. So, season 2, you guys, is going to be amazing. Keep your ears open. Keep your notices on because we have some amazing people for season 2 lined up. So you're not going to want to miss season 2. So these last few podcasts, we're going to kind of just be shooting the breeze just a little bit. But this podcast is questions. And so I believe our crew is supposed to be having a way that you'll be able to leave comments and leave your questions. If there's something that you want to have questions that you want to ask or anything, leave your comments. And then, of course, me and my co-host will get back to you on those answers, or we will comment on them in the next podcast. So today's podcast is about the most asked
questions.
Yeah. So we all know in life's journey, we ask God these questions all the time. And it's kind of funny because when my co-host asked, okay, what are we talking about? I was like, I don't know. And I didn't know. And he was like, I got it. I said, okay, what do you got? And so he finally spit it out, the most asked questions. And he said, okay, give me a question. I was like, I don't know. I don't. So I said, so the first thing popped in my mind was what, and this is the question I asked God all the time. Why me?
Wow.
Why me?
Yes.
Why does it have to be me
Yes.
that has to go through what I go through? And it's a God moment. Today is a God moment for me when he said what the podcast would be about. And so today I had to meet with a young woman on today, lost her brother. And so I sat with her for 2 hours.
Wow.
And now I understand in this season why me.
Yeah.
So we don't always have the answer at the moment when we ask God why. And I hate when people say, why not you?
Right.
Well, I don't want it to be me. I don't want to go through what I go through. I don't want to go through what I went through. But now, today was a God moment. I see God and why me. So as I sat with her today, and when she came in, she was like a deer and trapped in a headlight.
Okay.
You know how that blank stare, not sure where she was going. In speech, she couldn't speak. It took a lot of effort for her to even to be able to articulate words out of her mouth. And I saw myself
Wow.
when
Wow.
way I looked, and the way I felt. I may have not looked like the way she looked, but the way I felt, I could see her trying to catch her breath. And I saw why me moment.
Wow.
And so when I sat with her, and then when I came here, there was a heaviness on me when I came into the building. And when I met with my co-host and we talked about the question, and the first word that came out of my mouth was, why me?
Wow.
And so today the Lord reminded me
See?
why it was me. So
that is good.
Things that are happening in our life that may be tragic or cause us pain, there is a purpose behind it if we can see God in it. So now I understand why me.
And I think too that really whenever most people ask that question, it is more of a rhetorical question of like you 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 already know God is not going to put no more on you
Yeah, but you
can bear.
But at the moment,
But it's just that.
But when you're in the moment of it, I'm gonna be honest. My mind didn't go back, and y'all, I'm saved. I'm saved. I'm saved for real. I don't fake it. But at the moment of going through, my mind didn't click to God. You won't put more on me than I can bear. At the moment, all I could think was, my God, why me?
Gotcha.
And I had this thing where I was like, you done gave me the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah.
This is not right.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the aha moment when I was going through it. So I meant what I said. I meant what I said.
Well,
I meant it. I meant, God, why me? Why? And you know what? And I said, you know what? And I'm not only did I say, God, why me? And looking back now, because he just let it click in my head. Not only did I say, God, why me? I said, why you doing it to me?
Oh wow.
Why you doing this to me?
Oh, wow.
And I was listing things. I don't know about anybody else, but I had a list. Me and Jesus, I gave him a list down. I said, look, I've been serving you since 13. Why me? Why I didn't sign up for this.
Wow.
I said, nowhere in my bio did I list any of these things.
She brought up her bio? Wait a minute.
I didn't list none of this. You didn't tell me none of this was so when I say, I don't know about anybody else. We have a thing that God already knows our thoughts.
Yes.
He does.
Yes, he does.
He the intentions of our heart.
Right.
So when I said, Lord, why me? He knew Alice meant that. And I wanted,
oh my God.
I wanted a response.
Lord,
I'm like a call and response. I'm saying why I need him to respond back to me. Saying why he did it. And you know what he didn't? He didn't give me an answer.
Right.
He didn't come back with me with no response.
Absolutely.
But every now and then, like today, he will give me a God moment of why.
He will show you why.
You was put in.
Absolutely.
Why I took you through the things that I took you through. So I was able to tell her a portion of my journey because it wasn't about me.
Right.
It was about her and sitting with her and where she was at. But the Lord wanted me to share with her just pieces of the story. And she looked at me and she said, okay, now I know that I can do this.
Well, see.
Now I know I can get through this.
Really, when I think about why me, a lot of people say, well, hey, just have faith, baby. No, wait. Hey, trust him in and out. No, the question why doesn't mean the faith isn't there.
It doesn't have anything to do with that.
It has absolutely nothing to do with your faith not being there. But it's just that
I don't understand why you do it. I got faith. That ain't my problem.
In that moment, it's like
And I think
Okay.
and that's funny because people do think that when you say why me,
Yeah,
that it's a faith or a trust
right.
issue.
And it's not.
It's not that because I believe God was able to raise Chris from the dead if he chose to.
Right.
That wasn't the point. I just wanted to know why I had to go through this.
Yep.
It didn't have the point that I didn't have faith or I didn't believe or I didn't trust God. I just want to know why I had to do it.
And hey, see, really
You could have picked anybody else. You could have
and see, really that is why when this question came up, why me? It is so powerful simply because people need to understand that just because you're asking why doesn't mean that the faith and trust in God isn't there.
No.
It is just that you're at a point where, Lord, I don't see, I don't understand,
Nope.
and Lord,
I'm tight. It's tight.
I feel like this is gonna overtake me.
Yeah,
I need help.
It's almost unbearable.
Yes,
And this
Yes.
is where he's like, Lord, and that's where the why
that's it.
comes in. Is when it becomes where
That's
it's
it.
almost too much
Yes,
to bear. But I love the word almost too much to bear. Because then he recognizes, okay, she done had enough.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to change some stuff just a little bit so she
I
can
do understand.
handle
Right.
what she's going through.
Yes.
And that's where he allowed her to come into my space for a minute. To be able to show her like, hey, I'm a ease, because when she came in and those that were there saw her physical, and I see this a lot, but I see different levels of it where I work, to where her physical body shook,
Mhm.
to where she had face tremors
Mhm.
because it was so much stress
Mhm.
on her, and to where she didn't like to touch people
Mhm.
because she was scared about harming people because of how much tension was built up.
So a lot of trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's when
Uh-huh.
I said, no, you're not going to hurt me. So held her hand,
Mhm.
sat with her until her body could settle itself.
Mhm.
So, center. I tell people to center themselves. Center
Mhm.
yourself. So she could find a balance.
Mhm.
And then breathe to where she was no longer shaking. And she's like, okay, I'm not shaking. I said, uh-huh. So giving her an opportunity to see how God is able, and no, she's not saved.
Mhm.
She's not. But to see how God is able to settle you. He is able. And we think that he'll
Yes.
only do it for the believer.
No.
But he does it for the unbeliever because he wants you to be aware how he can take you
That's it.
and change your situation.
That's it.
And we always think that God would only rescue you if you are saved. That's not true. So when she said, I can breathe a little bit better.
Mhm.
And I said, okay, Lord.
Mhm.
Now I didn't say it to her because, but I said, okay, Lord. Finish settling her on down to where I got her where she was now able to smile.
See?
Her face was no longer twitching. And then when her mom finally came in, she was like, okay, all right. I see her not looking like she's
Mhm.
trapped. And she was in the why me moment.
Yep.
Why me moment. And I wanted her to be able to identify that it's not always going to be a why me moment.
Yes.
And that's what we have to learn, that it's not always going to be a why me moment, but there's going to be moments
Correct.
that you're going to
Right.
ask
Yes.
why.
Yes.
But God is not telling us, don't ask why. It's okay to ask, and it doesn't minimize your faith in him. It doesn't minimize your trust in him, and it does not minimize your salvation.
Mhm. No.
It doesn't mean that
No.
you're not saved
No,
because
it
you
does
ask
not.
him why.
No, it does not.
But what he will do is eventually present to you why.
Yes.
He took you through those moments. And sometimes me,
Mhm.
he just wasn't gonna tell me. But
See.
why you that? But some people, he'll explain to you
Mhm.
or give you a little bit of an understanding of why he has you in that moment, or has taken you through or taking you through that season.
And I think that also comes with a level of maturity.
Yeah.
I think it does, cause really you might can't handle what I can handle.
I sure can't.
I I might can't handle what you can handle, and see really that is why God is so amazing, simply because He knows us
Yeah.
and knows exactly where where we are on that level of maturity. So now some people
You got hurt
he
real quick.
he got to bail them out quickly.
Yeah, he didn't do that for me.
But now
He did not.
some he'll let you drink a little water first. Just like I was telling this story how whenever my cousins you went to the swimming hole, you didn't know how to swim, they would just pick you up and they would just throw you in. Now, some they after about 5 seconds, they had to jump in there and get them. But now others, they just let them drink a little water, some really.
Well, he done let me drink a whole lot of water.
I'm
full.
Yeah,
I'm full. I'm full of water. So there's things that we know that God will lead people
oh,
in
absolutely.
a situation, and I know people don't like that word, but he will leave you in a situation
Right.
to try to teach you. And not only to do that, but he wants to try to build you. And I understand now that he was building me for what I do now.
So now, really, that takes us to our next question.
Oh my goodness.
How long will you leave me in this, Lord?
I cried that. I cried that one.
How long
I did.
do I have to stay stuck in this
I guess
place?
that's like the children of Israel.
Yes.
How long will you allow us to be oppressed?
Yes.
You know, and that's what we cry. We cry that a lot. You know, God, how long will you leave me here? And the thing is, he's sitting with us in it.
Yes,
We
it
just
is.
feel like he's just left us, but he hasn't. He's sitting in there with us, but he's trying to mold us.
That's it.
And you know, one thing that God did tell me when I asked him how long are you going to leave me in this, he said, "I'm not trying to kill you." He said, I'm not trying to kill you.
That's
I'm not
a
trying to destroy
very
you.
good point there.
He said, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make you.
That's a very good point.
So he did tell me that. He may not tell me why I had to go through it at the moment. But when I got past the why to where, how long are you going to leave me here? And he was like, I'm not trying to kill you.
Wow.
I'm not trying to destroy you.
Wow.
I'm just trying to build you. And I was like, ooh, this building. I said, whatever you constructing, Lord, it's gonna look real good because woo, you taking me through. But it's a building block.
It is.
But I made, even with that, as a choice.
Yep.
That we have to make.
Yes.
While we're in the building process.
Yes.
Because I could have said, you know what?
I'm out.
This is way too much for me.
Deuces.
It's too hard.
I'm done.
I don't want to go with this because it is a fight.
Right.
So it's one thing to say, okay, God, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
But I wasn't saying that.
You was resisting.
I was resisting because it was painful, y'all. It was emotionally painful.
Yeah.
It was physically, y'all don't think it was. It was physically painful because of the stress of wanting things
Mhm.
to go a certain way, and it was nothing I had planned for was panning out.
Wow.
And I was like, how long?
Wow.
How long are you going to leave me in this? Because God, this is really getting hard. And I'm really not liking it at this moment. I'm really not. And and I was crying. You guys, I was boohooing. And I'd be like, Lord, how long? I feel like the children of Israel.
Uh-huh.
How long are you gonna leave me?
Yeah.
And and I'm laughing about it now,
Mhm.
but at the time there was no laughter. There was none. I just felt like if you don't get me out,
Wow.
and I was like, how long can I stand?
Wow.
How much more could I take? And he was like, I'm not trying to kill you.
That is one of the main key factors we as people need to understand. God is not a God who will just beat you up,
No,
break you down, and then just leave
leave you.
you there.
He's gonna build you back up. It's a process, and I see it more in my life now
Wow.
than I did then, because now I'm in a situation that I meet people on a daily basis.
Right.
That I can see and identify
Mhm.
the storm that I went through,
Wow.
and understand that, okay, I can tell them, I can say, I can't tell you.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I tell them, I can't tell you how long you're
Uh-huh.
going to be in it.
Uh-huh.
I can't tell you when you're going to come out.
Uh-huh.
But what I can tell you, if you trust God,
Wow. Yep.
if you hold on,
Yep.
He will eventually bring you out.
Yep.
But what He'll do, if you hold on, He'll bring you out perfected. He'll
That's
bring you
nice.
out settled,
That's nice.
and He'll bring you out established. And
That's nice.
I am, and so I'm a witness.
Wow.
And I say this a lot to, well, I won't say I say it a lot. I do say it to certain individuals, but God is looking for living witnesses. Paul is good.
Yes. Yes.
John is good.
Yes.
The rest of the apostles, they're good, but he
But
needs a
who now?
living witness.
Yes.
So we are the
Yes.
living epistles to be able
That's
to say,
it.
I've been through what you've going
there.
through.
Done that.
I know what it looks like to lose
Woo!
a husband.
Thank
I
you.
know what it looks like to lose a brother.
Yep.
I know what it looks like to lose a father.
Yep.
And I can identify with that.
Wow.
And I can tell you how God is able to bring you out. So you can go through the why me,
Mm-hmm.
been there.
Mm-hmm.
How long you gonna leave me here?
Uh-huh.
That was my song.
Okay.
I had a beat and a clip to it. How long are you gonna leave
Uh-huh.
me here? And I just kept saying, but he kept telling me, it's not gonna be always.
Wow.
This season is gonna pass. You just gonna have to hold on. But I made a choice. I said, oh Lord, and this is where the vow
That's it.
comes in. My commitment to God is real. It's genuine,
Uh-huh.
and I mean what I say, and I do what I say. So when I told the Lord at 13 if He would save me,
Mm-hmm.
and I said this in a few of my podcasts, that if He would save me, it didn't matter how bad life would get, I wasn't gonna never leave Him. I wasn't going nowhere. I'm in it to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I made that commitment, that would pop up in my head like, okay, it's bad. Right now, I don't see no sunshine. It's raining, but
Okay.
you made a commitment.
Yes.
Are you going to honor it? So I said, okay, this is where I said I was going to occupy until you come. So I made a decision. So this is a choice of how long
Wow.
am I going to be here? I'm going to occupy, God, until you come and
I'll
get
stay
me.
here until you bring me out.
Until you come and get me and
Wow.
bring me out.
Wow.
And so that's what I made the decision. And a lot of times we don't commit to I'll wait on you.
No.
I'll wait on you to come.
We don't want to do that.
It hurts.
Oh yes.
It's and we want to say, oh, just have faith, just believe God, but that's not helping me in the moment that I'm in. That's not helping me. So what we do, what I do is I sit with you. I sit with you and I ain't got to talk. I'm just going to sit with you in your moment and let you know that, hey, I'm here. And sometimes that's what we need within the body of God,
Wow.
somebody to sit with you. And this is one of the chapters in my book, and I ain't going to tell you all that, but it's one of the things that I talk about the pit moment. Somebody just sitting with you while you're in your pit, while you're in the lowest chapter of your life, somebody just coming and just sitting with you while you wait.
Look, it is so comforting to know that, yes, I am going through it. Yes, it's rough, but I don't have to face it alone.
Yeah. And sometimes even we know that God is with us. We know that he hasn't left us, but it's so much different when you have a physical touch.
Right.
Or even a physical being that's next to you saying, hey.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And just sitting. I don't need, and don't get me wrong now. I don't want, at the moment, I didn't want scripture.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the word.
Mm-hmm.
I could quote it better than a whole lot of people. I am not a scholar of the word, but I know the word. So you giving me now faith. I know now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I know this.
Right. However,
that wasn't helping me in the moment.
I'm still at how long, not now faith.
And that's the thing.
I understand.
So it's learning to listen to the voice of the Lord and knowing when to speak, when not to speak, and when just to sit. So that's what we have. That's what I've learned. So I didn't talk a whole lot. I just sat with her. And every now and then she would take a breath. I said, okay. And I would sit until she would say something and I acknowledge her. And we would sit. But when she left out, she was laughing.
See? That's amazing.
And that's the thing that we have to learn. He won't always leave us in the moment that we're in.
Well, now, there is a scripture where Paul says, I've learned how to abound. I've learned how to be abased. I have learned how to deal with all of these things. But most of all, I've learned how to be content.
And that's the hardest thing I think we have trouble learning is how to be content.
Yeah.
And that's because we want things
the
way that we want them.
Yeah.
And I know for me, I can't speak for anybody else, and I'll let you chime in, that I saw life going a whole nother different direction than what it went. That's Alice's mind. And because it didn't go that way, I was not content in anything. And that's where complaining comes in. That's where it comes, you trying to figure out how to do stuff yourself. And that's where trouble steps in. And so when I got to the point to where I said, okay, everything that I'm trying ain't working. Now y'all say, and I keep saying that because y'all don't. Because a lot of us out there talking about, I'm set. Yeah, but we still get in the point to where we try to fix things ourselves.
Right.
And we're not content in the situation that we're in. And so I wanted to help Jesus out. I was going to help him out. I was going to figure it out myself. Because y'all, I was talking about,
Wow.
I was going to move.
Wow.
I knew I was going to move to. But I was packing up 1, 2, and 3. That's what I call my girls. 1, 2, and 3. I don't know where I was going. At first I was going to Atlanta.
Wow.
Then I was going to Chicago. I was everywhere.
Wow.
I was everywhere because I was not content. But when I got to, I'll say when the Lord shook me,
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord.
then I opened my mouth and said, whatever your will is.
Uh-huh.
And that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to accept God's
No,
will
no.
and plan for our life, but we say it with our lips, but our heart is far from it. So when I stopped saying it with my mouth and I began to say it with my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not talking about the natural heart, I'm talking about the soul of the man. When I said it with that, then God was like, okay, now I can settle you.
Wow.
Now that I can establish
Yeah.
you, and now I can make you content. So this season of my life,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bouncy. I'm not here and there. I'm not back and forth. I'm not undecisive,
Mm-hmm.
because I was undecisive. One day I was like, I'm going here. Next day I'm going there. Now I'm like, if the Lord don't tell me, I don't do nothing. I wait on him to give me direction. So now contentment has come in. I'm contented where I'm at. I'm content in the things of
Wow.
God.
Wow.
And because of that, then I was able to hear.
Wow.
Then Driven in Purpose,
Wow.
Living to Live Again, the book, music, all of that is coming together because now I'm settled.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm established, and I'm content, and I can hear.
Wow.
So it's getting to that point. It's a building point. We know that when they build, they lay a foundation, and then they add on and add on. God has to do the same way.
Absolutely.
When it comes
Absolutely.
to this. So you guys, you have to be able to say, I'm willing to do your will,
Lord,
and not my will.
that is good.
And you're going to go through why me?
Yes.
How long? And then the final question
is what next?
that can be a,
Ooh, Lord.
Brother Tyus, help me out. What's double
A double negative.
negative? That wasn't the word I was going to use, but we're going to say double negative.
Oh,
What's the other word? What? Whatever he just said, because I can't say that word. So
What next, Lord?
what next? That could be, I'm excited,
Or
Lord, no more.
no more.
So that could be
That could go either way.
And so, but I had got to the point to where I wasn't on the other side.
Thank the Lord.
I wasn't on the side.
Okay.
Because that that probably came before question 2. That was probably like question 1.5. What next? Because what else could happen now, Lord? Everything else can happen. What else? My car done broke down.
Lord have mercy.
The furnace done went out. The water heater went out. The stove done went out. The refrigerator. What else, Lord? So I would say that was probably for me in between the 1 and that was probably 1.5. But now at this point, I can say what's next because it's exciting. What's next?
Yep.
And that's the point. Is getting
Yes.
getting over all those other hurdles.
Yeah.
To be able to say what's next. And they laugh at me here because I was like, I'm excited about the journey. But I'm excited now to where I can say, Lord, okay, what's next? What you got planned next? Because I'm all in. Let's go. Let's get it, Lord. What you got next for me?
I love it.
And and it's funny because I tell the devil, I said, that's all you got? Because I guess, and I don't mean no, I'm not being, but literally, I'm like, what else can you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you've done already so much. What else can you do now? I've been through sickness. I've been through death. And I tell him now, you should have killed me when you had a chance.
Wow.
You should have made me
Wow.
quit
Wow.
when you had it, because God has proven himself to be able to pull me out of anything.
Wow.
Every time.
That's
so now
amazing.
I'm like, Lord, what's next? Because the only thing I see now, I see an amazing future. And I want to encourage somebody
Yeah.
because I know that some of you that are watching now are going to watch this later
Mhm.
are going to feel like, hey, I don't have anything to look forward to. Life has dealt me, and I know we think that life has dealt us such a bad hand. And like I said, gave us the wrong end of the stick.
Uh-huh.
But God does have a brighter future for
Yes,
you.
he does.
He does. And I can tell you from my point of view, I didn't see a future.
Wow.
I didn't see life ever getting any better. After Chris died, I didn't. I thought this was it.
Wow.
Life is just always going to be bad. And I'm never going to smile. I'm never going to be happy. I'm not going to fulfill anything. There's no purpose for my life. I'm just here to be a mom and eventually die.
Wow.
And honestly, I was waiting to die. I was welcoming death, and that's bad. I was looking for God to get me out. And I wasn't gonna kill, but little do we know, not living is a sin.
It is.
Because I was just waiting for God to let me go home.
Wow.
And I was looking for, okay, I was going, I'm gonna tell them that I was going to the doctors waiting for them to find something.
Wow.
I don't know who's doing that, who's going out waiting,
Wow.
going to the doctor, saying, okay, I hope it's cancer.
Wow.
I hope it's this because and then I don't want to do treatment because just let me die. I don't know who may watch this, but that's not God's plan for your life. He does have a purpose for you.
Yes,
and that
God.
this season won't last always, that you do have a future. God does have a plan for your life. It's just sticking in him.
Yes, he has an expected end.
He does. And it's just getting to the end. And
It's
that's
just
the
getting
point.
there.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Right.
when we talk about this, stay the course.
Right.
Stay
Right.
the course. And that's what about, and so everybody's like, how is this about driven in purpose? It is. Everything that has to pertain to God in your life is about purpose.
Absolutely.
So my question, why me? How long? And what's next? All that has to do with purpose.
It does.
Because in that why me, why does he have me in this situation? It's fulfilling purpose.
It's for a purpose.
It's for a purpose.
Yeah.
What is he building you for?
Right.
Why is he leaving me in this situation?
Mhm.
What is he creating me to do?
Wow. Wow.
And then when you get past all that and he teaches you everything that you need to know, then you was like, Lord, what's next for me?
What is next?
What chapter? So I'm in the next chapter of life.
Hey,
So I am
I
an
love
example of what God can do and how God can take a situation. And he
Wow.
can really show you how he will work it out for your good.
Wow.
So I'm in I don't mean to throw no shade, but I'm in an amazing season. Is everything like I want it? No, but God is still in control. So that's what's amazing. I'm in an amazing ministry. I've got two amazing first lady, an amazing, I call him an apostle because he's not a pastor. He'll tell you that in a minute.
No, no.
But you know, I'm in an amazing ministry, and it's a blessing to be that I've
Thank
got.
you.
Uh,
Hey,
I
thank you,
call
Lord.
her Lady T. Y'all got to meet her. She has become my sister. I love her beyond measure. She's real. She's genuine. And I've met a lot of first ladies in my lifetime. And I can say that out of several that I've met, she is true to who she says she is.
Wow.
And that's amazing. And not only that, but because she's not, she's monopolizing my husband's time. She's not like that. She
Nah.
knows it's ministry driven.
Yes, Lord.
And she knows this I could call him a knucklehead. This he is my brother, true and true. And that's when
Hey.
you know that she's real, because a lot of how much hours we have to talk and we have to spend on the phone.
Lord
She's
have mercy.
never she's still on the phone. She's still
No.
on the phone. She doesn't do all that.
No.
And that's because she knows me. And I know her. And I love that about her, because we wouldn't be able to do the ministry that we do in Sanctuary or even in Driven in Purpose. Right. And Apostle may not know, I'm going to call him Apostle now, that he helped push me in to do what I needed to do, even for Driven in Purpose. And I'm going to tell y'all what, because when I came, I did not want to sit in, and we're talking about why me, still the why me. I didn't want to stand in the pulpit. I didn't want to sit in the pulpit. And when I came, I would always sit in the Lady T is laughing at me. I would sit in the audience because he was like, and he would look at me like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "I'm sitting right here." He's like, "Oh no, you're not." And Lady T would turn around. I was like, "You better get up there." And so the why me. But when you get into a ministry that pushes you and encourages you to do what God has called you to do, then you begin to walk and you find out who you are.
Yes.
And what God has created you to do.
Yes.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this ministry. I don't tell them as often as I ought to, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what God is doing in this ministry.
We are excited.
So you guys, I am excited about where God has taken Driven in Purpose. So you guys, we have two more episodes of this season 1. So you guys make sure that you like, subscribe, share this podcast, share this video, download. There is a information going across the screen if you want to seed into Driven in Purpose. There is Cash App. I don't know if it's scrolling across the screen now. Y'all seed into Driven in Purpose. It is an amazing ministry.
It is.
And y'all stay tuned because the crew, my crew is going to be posting things, guests that are going to be coming in season 2. You guys, we have an amazing, oh my God. The website is up for Driven in Purpose. So you guys, I don't know if they're posting the website. So you go watch the website. Keep an eye on the website because it's going to have updates on who is coming. We have some, you guys, I'm telling you, we have some amazing, oh my God.
We are excited.
Some amazing lineup. Like I said, Driven in Purpose season 1 was the foundation. We were laying the foundation, but we've gotten people that have begun to reach out to Driven in Purpose that have said, hey, we see what God is doing and we want to link up with you. And so you guys, those that want to be part of Driven in Purpose, go to our email, go to our website, send an email through there. We will welcome you to come on Driven in Purpose, share your testimony, share your purpose in God. And remember that Driven in Purpose is here to stay.
Yes.
And you guys make sure that you come back and like it, share it, turn on your notifications so you know when we post a new video. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.